Hello, I'm back. I'm Mo, and I have been a sex therapist for 20 years. And today I want to talk to you about something that I also see quite often in my work, in my practice. There are clients who, this is the type of client that comes in and has been married for a while and has been feeling low desire or no desire for a while, and is confused and doesn't understand why, and really wants an answer, like really wants to find the reason. Like, is it low hormone levels, low testosterone, low estrogen, low progesterone? Is it something like that? Is it a chronic illness? Is it chronic pain? Is it something like that? And they're perplexed because they're with the same person and they used to have this like hot, passionate desire and arousal and intimacy, and suddenly that's gone. This is so common. We have been taught that our romantic relationships, our sexual relationships, that they are all conflated, and that once we get married, we're gonna have this like for the rest of our lives. And that is farthest from the truth. And I'm always kind of surprised, I think, after 20 years that people are still out there believing this. And so every time I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk away from this work, I really don't need to do this work anymore. Like, everybody knows now, everybody's up to speed. Everybody's sex positive in the world. Lo and behold, people aren't. And I don't live in the middle of nowhere, and I don't live in a country that is repressed. I live in a supposedly liberal city of Los Angeles on the West Coast of the United States, where you would think that people know this. It just goes to show you that people do not, and there are enclaves of people who still believe this thing not because they're liberal or whatnot, but because this vibe, the story is perpetuated and has been perpetuated for generations. So one thing I tell this kind of client before they go and spend tons of dollars, getting all manner of hormone tests and this kind of test and this kind of test, because look, at the end of the day, all your doctor is going to say, there's nothing wrong with you. You need to go see a sex therapist. That happens all the time. Here's the thing. Your desire is not static. And once you get into a long-term relationship, things shift pretty dramatically in your relationship because you develop a closer bond, an emotional bond with your partner. And in order to be aroused, for a lot of people, there needs to be novelty, newness, excitement, adventure, things that aren't happening inside your house that you've lived with your partner for over a decade. There's not a lot of newness happening there. Probably not a lot of adventure if you're at home all the time. And, add on top of that bills, children, chores. You're really asking for a lot for your arousal to just automatically be there. It takes work. It's not going to be like it was in the beginning. There is a researcher by the name of Dr. Helen Fisher. She's done a lot of research on this, and look her up. She just recently passed away, but she is one of my idols. She has the 3 stages in which we experience lust. First stage is lust, and the period of lust can last usually 6 months. At the most 3 years. We're talking 3 years. Okay. The next phase is romance. The romance is about the same amount of time. It's kind of lumped in there. After that, after those 3 years, you go into attachment phase, where you are literally now bonded with this person and they are a family member, similar to a family member. And do we equate arousal, desire with family members? Most of the time we don't. So what does this leave you to conclude? If you still want to go get those tests done, run all those hormone tests, go for it. 100%. Do what you need to do to feel good about yourself. But just know Your arousal is not going to be all excited just because you're in a long-term relationship with someone you love. In fact, as counterintuitive as that may be based on everything that they've taught us, it's quite the opposite.